make it their own.
There'd be A&R people outside of our house, like waiting for us to be walking in to try to talk to us about stuff, because back then we really wouldn't answer the phone when major labels would call us, because we just knew that they were going to be out there to try to steal one of our bands, which is a real pain in the ass. So we got a phone call from a guy named Luke Wood. And Luke Wood was in a band called Girls Against Boys years ago. And he's an indie dude, but a major label A&R. I knew all about him, and I heard great things about him, so I said, you know, I want to talk to this guy. I want to see what he has to say. So we go down there, and he chats us up about the record, psyched on it, and as soon as people found out that he was psyched on it, everyone started calling.
And I knew that we had the record that was going to change a lot of stuff for us. It was, you know, there are lots of records we've done that I loved, and there are records we've done since that I like more than that record. But there was something in that album where there was an electricity just in the air around the band in general. We knew it was going somewhere.
And everyone started going crazy, because the guy who signed Jimmy Eat World and AFI is now after My Chemical Romance. Who's My Chemical Romance? I don't know, because the record's not out yet. It's some band in New Jersey on Eyeball, the label that did the Thursday record. Nobody had any idea. So we were psyched, man. We were really psyched, and the fact that we were able to get that record so buzzed out before even having a street date was just amazing.
The band now began a series of grueling nationwide tours.
Their lifestyle changed as soon as that record dropped. They were gone. You know, they were in their van and out. And then they come back a month and a half later and had to get a trailer to add to the van. And then come back 3 months later or 2 months later and had to buy a new van and a bigger trailer. And then come back a few months later and then they're in a bus. You know, it's like, it was fast, man. It was fast. I've never seen anything like that before in my life. So their lifestyle changed immediately, and they just tour constantly. They tore their ass off.
While My Chemical Romance were away on tour, rival record companies from major labels started to bombard them with lucrative offers.
We took a long time before we decided to sign with a major. We were in extensive meetings, and we met with a lot of people, and you know, we just basically, like, within a couple of months of us being a band, like, major labels were, for whatever reason, already talking to us, and for about like a year and a half we just told them, no, we just want to be a band, you know, we want to be left alone, that's what we want. And you know, they were cool, people stayed away.
The very turning point for the band, I think, was when an A&R at DreamWorks made a phone call to get them on a show with Jimmy Eat World, and there were 7,000 kids at it, and it was ridiculous. And it was a sort of a taste of what these major labels were capable of doing in a single phone call that an indie label would have to work for months to do.
So, played that show, ridiculous, you know, and they slayed it. They were amazing.
At that point, we understood that they would probably be going to a major. And since these were our friends and they were local, there was no contract between us. There was a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, kisses, promises.
What happened was we were doing so much touring and so much work, and we kept hearing that, you know, I can't find your record in the stores. And, you know, you work so hard playing shows for kids and hoping that they'll be able to take home a CD or find a CD if they're interested in it, or maybe even find it on the internet, and kids couldn't find their music. And that's kind of what, you know, what drove us to sign to a major. It was really just so, you know, kids could get our music.
That puts a lot of pressure on a band, and it puts a lot of pressure on an indie label. Because, let's face it, Eyeball Records at that time could not break My Chemical Romance to the level they are now.
As the majors got more and more involved, the band and the management got a little more distant, and being on the road a lot kind of keeps you out of sight, out of mind, so to speak.